Greetings. Welcome to another episode of the Insightful Living channel with myself, Stephen Harvey. Just comes on here just to share and expound on different obstacles that come across my practice. Okay, you can look me up on psychologytoday.com, helptoadjust.com, which is the agency that I run my practice through. Okay, and here we just kind of talk about tried, tested, and proven strategies to overcome a myriad of life obstacles dealing with your romantic life, your professional life, and your personal life. Okay, so today I'm going to address an issue, an obstacle that comes up very often, specifically amongst the women or the females that I work with. Okay, so today we're going to deal with how to effectively vet men, okay, that you are considering to be a romantic partner. All right, how to effectively vet men who you are considering to be a romantic partner. How to know who's who, how to know if this is a gentleman who you need to be with, augment your life to. How do you know if this guy is sincere or even worth your time, right? Worth you, following, right? You say, hey, you know what? I'm going to choose this gentleman to be the, say, leader of my household, father of my children. How to know? Okay. So my intent for this video is to give women a solid foundation from which to work from in order to effectively vet men, to know if they're even worth entertaining, to be a romantic partner, life partner, etc. Okay? So, first, women, is I want you to become great at asking questions. Ask questions. You want to get into this man's mind and have him thoroughly explain to you what he's about. You want to really dig into that mind, because a lot of men will attempt to be superficial, okay, and also use words that are ambiguous in general. So you now need to ask this man, explain that. What does that mean? How does that look? Okay. All right. So let's get a little deeper. So let's just say you're talking to a guy and you say, hey, what are you about? Just ask a guy, hey, what are you about? I'm going to give you some questions too that you need to be asking men as you are vetting them. All right. So one is, how would you describe your purpose? That's a great question to ask a guy. How would you describe your purpose? What do you think your purpose for living is? What drives you? What motivates you in life? Questions like that. So let's say a guy gives you an answer, and he may say something like, well, I'm all about self-improvement. I'm all about financial freedom and love. Okay? You hear what I just said? I'm all about self-improvement, financial freedom, and love. So now you as a woman, you need to ask, okay, self-improvement in what way? Right? In what aspect? How does that look? What is that? What would have to happen in your life in order for you to say that you have improved? See how you got to break that down? Because self-improvement, you can receive that one way and he can mean another. It's ambiguous. It's vague. It's not anything tangible or measurable, right? We got to make it measurable. Get it? Financial freedom, another very vague, general term. What does that mean? What you may deem to be financial freedom or independence may mean something totally different to him. What does that mean? What would have to happen for you financially for you to say you are financially free? right? Keep breaking it down. What does that mean? What does that mean? The other term, what did I say? Love. What does that mean? What does love mean to you? How does that look? Right? So for example, right, I would say love, because love comes up a lot too, in my practice, right? So I define love as a commitment that goes beyond your emotions to ensure that someone else's best interest is adhered to. A commitment beyond your emotions that ensures that someone else's best interest or well being is adequately addressed. For example, love is, let's just say, you get into a very intense conflict with your partner. Okay? Love is still making sure that your partner is going to eat. Make sure that he or she still has food to eat. Making sure that he or she is still, has maybe adequate transportation, or, still making sure that certain essentials for living and well-being are still in place, even though the both of you have had a very intense dispute. To me, that's love. Like, emotionally, you might not be feeling your partner at the time, but you're going to still make sure that they're good in regard to, say, maybe certain responsibilities and essentials, right? Financially, they're eating, whatever. Okay, that's what I deem love to be. All right. So now, you as a woman, you may say, well, give me an example. Okay, but I gave you an example just now, right? So I hope you're getting a picture. Like, you vet guys by asking pertinent questions. Another great question is, hey, what do you think separates you from all other men? What do you think is special or unique about you? Have this man talk about how he sees himself differently. What makes him unique, right? And you don't even have to ask that from a negative way, but we all are unique in some type of way. That man should be able to see. Now, if he gives you a vague, I'm gonna be honest with you ladies, I used to ask that question back when I was in high school, to be honest with you. I used to ask young ladies, hey, what do you think separates you from the average young lady out here? What do you think makes you special? I would ask women that. And their answer to that question would let me know how much introspection they've done with themselves. Right? So if they give me a vague answer like, oh, well, I'm nice, I'm caring, I like to laugh, that's super vague. That's like very superficial, right? Like, a lot of people are nice, like to laugh, are kind. That's a lot of people. That's not anything unique, right? So that would let me know if someone gave me an answer like that, a very general answer like that, that would let me know that, hey, they really didn't do any serious introspection or self-analysis to really know who they are, right? So now, women, this is a question that you should ask men, right? What makes them different? What makes them unique? Okay. Now I'm going to share with you a phrase that I heard. All right, that I heard one time. So from a pastor actually, and he said, women, he said, you cannot follow a parked car. Right? Or he just said in general, you can't follow a parked car. So he was saying that in the context of the reason why some women may be disgruntled in their relationships, because they want to follow their man's lead, but their man is not setting forth any good leadership. All right. So I say that to say, women, you want to know where this man is headed. What is his course? All right. Where does he see his life ending up? Or how does he see his life unfolding? What is his vision? What is his vision? And then you want to also know, well, what is his plan of action to make sure that that vision comes into fruition? You need to see some action working towards the manifestation of the vision that he says, whether it be a financial vision, whether it be a certain endeavor that he wants to accomplish. All right. You need to see some action, some committed action. So if this guy says he wants to, grow a podcast or a business or, anything, a nonprofit organization, you need to see some committed work to support what he says it is that he wants to accomplish. If you see him playing video games and he's going out and he's drinking and he's just having fun, relaxing, that should be an indicator, ladies, that, hey, that doesn't add up, right? You want to make sure that the story adds up and makes sense. Another pointer on vetting men is ask the same question in 2 or 3 different styles to ensure that you get the same answer. Okay? That's another thing. You want to make sure that this guy's not just giving you what he thinks you want to hear in the moment. So when you're in his face, you might ask a question one way. When you text him, you may ask him the same question a different way. And when you're over the phone, all right? So that's another thing to make sure that it all adds up. You want to be very keen to noticing any discrepancies in the narrative of what this man is saying, what he's about and what his situation is. Okay? So that's another one. All right? Another pointer, okay, is when you're dating a guy, all right, women, make your best attempt to have him talk more than you. Let him talk about himself and answer your questions more than you talking about yourself answering his questions. Why do I say that? Because, you have some men out there who are manipulative and they are great at mirroring whatever it is that you say. So if you're just there, just, spilling your guts, so to speak, just telling about your whole life, being like super extremely transparent and divulging with everything about who you are and what you've been through and what you're about and what you want, right? You have some men that will sit there and take in that data and use it to morph themselves into whoever they feel they need to be to get in your good graces, to get whatever they want from you. So they may say, okay, well, based on what she said, I know I gotta, emphasize this aspect of my personality and I gotta hide this aspect. I know I need to, they're gonna make the necessary adjustments. So to mitigate that or to avoid that, it would be best for you to have them speaking more than you, have them answering your questions. Okay? But becoming great at asking questions really is the key. And really listening to the answers, making sure the answers add up, making sure that they are explaining certain terms to you. I'm going to give you another term here, right? Submissive. You may even ask a guy, hey, what does being submissive mean to you? Because a guy may say, oh, I like a submissive woman. So then ask that gentleman, okay, well, how does that look for you? Some people feel that being submissive is synonymous with being like your slave. You just do whatever I say. Some people, that's how they view the word submissive. Okay. Other people view submissive as, hey, I'm just going to edify you. And even if I know that you may be wrong or I may have the right answer, hey, you know what? I'm going to be tactful in how I approach it because I want you to feel like, you're the hero. I want you to feel powerful, right? I'm not just going to come and just chop you down and say, that's wrong. That's absolutely wrong. What? What are you talking about? You're not even making any sense right now, right? See, that's like when you're just trying to just chop someone down, right? You're going to have a certain tactful way of going about, or you may even choose to hold your truth to your chest, right? So, submissiveness is just really not posturing yourself like you're in competition with, right? Allowing your partner, your man, the opportunity to lead and to be powerful in the relationship, and being tactful in how you navigate instances where you have to come in and make certain changes, right? If you know, let's say maybe that man is going in the wrong direction, being tactful with it. There's a way that you can address a wrong and still have someone kind of feel powerful in that situation, and there's a way that you can address it, and like I said, just be very cutting and very demeaning and very belittling. That's what you don't want to do. Okay, so that's really how I see being submissive, right? It's not being anyone's slave. And guess what, right? In allowing a man to lead, part of being a great leader is also being great with delegating, right? So if that leader, that man, should know that, hey, you know what? My wife is more proficient than I am, say with, I don't know, investing or money management or saving, whatever it may be, scheduling, right? I'm going to allow, be comfortable with my wife or my, partner leading in this particular area. A great leader knows how to also delegate. Okay. So, you know, my point is we need to really break these words down. I do a lot of couples therapy, and a lot of very ambiguous and general words are being used. Right now, one of the hottest words out here right now is narcissist. Oh, you're a narcissist. And then a guy may just get right into defense mode, defending his character, and the woman, using all types of behaviors that she doesn't like to call this guy a narcissist. you know um but let's break that down. What does that mean? So if I'm a guy, I'm saying, well, what do you mean by that? What's your definition of a narcissist? Oh, you're just all about yourself. You're just all about yourself. Well, not necessarily. That's not necessarily what a narcissist is. I mean, just being all about yourself. You can be all about yourself, but still ensuring that others are being adequately, addressed, right, or considered, right? The two can live in the same house, being all about yourself and ensuring that others are being considered as well, in you upholding your own personal agenda or prioritizing yourself. So just keeping it plain, short, and simple, a narcissist is someone who edifies themselves at the expense of demeaning, belittling others. So I am belittling, not I, but a narcissist belittles others in order to edify or prop up him or herself. That's basically what a narcissist is. But if you're just that first part, one who is all about edifying oneself, that in and of itself does not make you a narcissist, right? When you are looking to edify yourself at the expense of belittling or demeaning others, then we're now moving into the category of what is called a narcissist, right? But again, going back to my point, you want to make sure that these terms and words are defined, okay? So ladies, when you are dating a man, you need to have questions ready to make this man think, some insightful questions, not no basic superficial questions. You want to really see where this man stands in regard to his values, his principles, right? Questions like, hey, what are certain principles that you would live your life based on, that you just will not compromise on regardless? Like what are certain near and dear principles that you hold close to your heart? Right? Questions like that. I already shared with you, hey, what do you believe your purpose is for living? What do you believe, is your purpose out here, for your life? Okay. That whole notion of, hey, what is being submissive, mean to you? That's another great question. Okay. Questions like I said before, what do you feel makes you unique and different from all other men out here? Okay. Questions like that. All right. Questions like, hey, describe the ideal type of relationship that you would like to experience. How does that look? Like, you know, how would you want to engage with your woman? How do you want your woman to engage with you? Okay. Well, hey, what does mutually beneficial mean to you? You know, or, okay, another one is like, you talk about describe. Another one is how, okay, do you want, or how would you prefer differences to be discussed and handled in a relationship? I mean, is yelling, name calling, fighting, like physically fighting, is that acceptable in your eyes? Like, how should differences be handled and addressed? How do you feel they should be handled and addressed? If he has one perspective on maybe the type of school that children should go to, you have a different perspective, or maybe political differences, spiritual differences, religious differences, right? When these differences come up, or say miscommunication or mishaps, how should these differences be handled? Should it be, accusatory, kind of like with this attitude? Like, you want to flesh that out. Okay. All right. So, bottom line, women, you vet guys by asking insightful questions that will make them think, okay, and really divulge to you what they're about. What are their core beliefs? What are their principles? What do they stand on? What are they uncompromising about? Okay, what is their perspective on, being a great, father or husband or family man, things of that nature. Okay, and if you see any discrepancies, you need to question it. But hold on, well, how does you said this, but then you also said that? So how do those two, match up? You want to listen real closely, all right? Because I tell you, from a psychological perspective, it is virtually impossible for you to be in someone's presence and for them not to reveal who they really are. They're showing who they really are, but we got to be discerning enough to recognize the demonstration of their true character. Much of this comes from listening to what they say. It comes back to like that saying that says, when someone tells you who they are, believe them. If they tell you that, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that, this is my goals, I'm going to do this, I'm working on this, I'm working on, then you need to see the effort being put behind that. You say, hold on, you said you wanted to build this, but oh well, and they give you a bunch of excuses and you're not seeing the effort. That is an indicator. That's an indicator. Okay? So that's it. All right. Asking insightful questions. I gave you a few to start off with. Okay. Making sure that they're talking more than you so that you can hear what they're about. You don't want to just be telling everything about you so that they can mirror and be the type of individual that they feel they need to be based on what you shared. No. Okay. And make sure that certain ambiguous, vague, general terms are explained in a tangible, measurable manner. Makes sense? Any extra questions, always feel free to comment in the comment section. All right. And that is it for today. I love you. Thank you for tapping into another episode of the Insightful Living channel. I will be back with more relevant topics that, like I say, come up in my practice. I'm available for therapy sessions. Go to helptoadjust.com and contact my great all-star front end team, and we can set it up. All right. Take care. I love you. Peace.